Video games are the only option you have where you can spend hundreds of hours just exploring random parts of the maps and completing side quests. We all love big, gigantic open worlds. There's just something about vast video game maps that gives us the feeling of conquerors. That's why I have included the 15 amazing open world games with insane map sizes. Also, the number one game on this list has infinite map size. Anyways, without further ado, hit that subscribe button for more awesome gaming recommendations, and let's look at the first game on my list. Number 15. Final Fantasy 15. Now, if you're a series fan, then you will surely argue with me on why this game is on my list and not Final Fantasy 14. To be honest, the 14th part does give players more additional content than any of the parts before it. But I love Final Fantasy 15 so much because of Noctis and the graphics. What I think is right to do when it comes to spending thousands of hours is combining soundtracks as well as graphics and visuals on top of an endless amount of stuff to do. There is always something about it that brings back its players again and again, year after year, or so they say. The 7th one might have been better for some people who grew up playing these games. Others might think that number 10 takes the cake in terms. I'm just saying that for someone like me, who started the Final Fantasy series with the 15th installment, this one's worth checking out too. Gameplay combat isn't entirely turn-based. While controlling Noct, different attacks can be performed by other members of his party while they are under your control during battle mode itself. It's not often we get these types of games where such cinematic cutscenes occur, giving players high-quality visuals. I also love the dynamic weather system. For example, once you play a few hours in the game, it may be sunny, and next moment, there can be heavy rain with thunderstorms. The open world is so colorful and alive even at night. Number 14. Legend of Zelda. I understand that there are still some of us who haven't played due to its unavailability. Some computers can't run the game because it only runs on an emulator. So, FPS issues are still being complained about by players. But hey, you'll have to play it for yourself if you wonder why these games are so hyped. I'm talking both Breath of Wild and Tears of Kingdom here. Personally, I like Breath of the Wild better, but it depends on which game you want to play first. There is a lot to do in Legend of Zelda games, so you won't get bored or see repetitive content. However, from the graphics perspective, I can't tell whether you will like these two games or not. Don't get me wrong, the graphics and visuals are great. They just feel different if you're new to the series. I also felt that they look sort of like anime or too video gamey. That's how I describe it basically. But there is a great big world out there waiting for you. This world is full of objects and creatures that are so detailed they could be real, and the storyline is good too. If you have seen the gameplay and don't mind the art style, then I would recommend checking out the series. Otherwise, you might find yourself getting bored and quitting before finishing. Also, these games have nice soundtracks and music in them which should be acknowledged. Number 13. Tom Clancy Breakpoint. This game is somewhat realistic when it comes to vehicles, helicopters, equipment, and tactics. You can always choose to rely on this game whenever you're feeling bored. Ghost Recon Breakpoint lets you play in the multiplayer mode with your friends or players from all over the world. There's also a solo campaign mode which is not that bad. I played the main story and had a blast. The AI teammates are well programmed and help the main character at the time of need. Easter eggs can also be the best thing about this game. It also lets you complete certain missions in a variety of ways rather than going all out at once. The customizations are the best part as the game lets you customize your outfits, weapon skins, and much more. The main story is average in terms of overall immersive feeling. The plot still makes a lot of sense and doesn't just give you a multiplayer action shooting game with a bunch of cheesy characters. You will likely find all the missions easy and not too hardcore. The game provides a balanced experience which is suitable for newcomers and the experienced players. Although the game had glitches and bugs at the time of release, but now after all this time and patches, they are fixed and provide an efficient, engaging experience. You can use Vulkan for extra frames, assuming you have a good PC. Overall, I recommend trying out this game if you are into military simulation and role-playing stuff, and just want to have some fun playing with other players or your friends. Number 12. Skyrim 5. Now, this game may not be for everyone. Only the OG fans of RPG genre will love this game. I personally consider Skyrim as the birth of all the modern-gen RPG games. Bethesda went all out in this game. It's like they knew that their game will be played forever, Even after a decade, PC lovers will absolutely have a blast while playing this game because of the different mods they can install to make the game more engaging. Some of you will also say that Oblivion is better, which could be right, but I wanted to mention the Elder Scrolls because this was my introduction in the series. If only this game had Witcher 3 level graphics, then it would have been remembered as the GOAT of fantasy RPG games. The story of Skyrim is not that great as it includes a lot of political matters as well. But what counts is your entire playthrough till the end of the final quest. You will be surprised about how many times you will feel the need to skip the main story and just explore the open world. Extra advice for anyone considering this game on PC. I suggest using mods, but make sure you do it right or the game won't launch. So, copy and paste everything carefully. Also, don't play in vanilla mode. It will lower your enjoyment by a lot. Number 11. Red Dead Redemption 2.
You don't like visiting?
It's no surprise that Red Dead Redemption 2 often tops lists in gaming videos, celebrated for having the best open-world design, storytelling, and graphics. But what sets RDR2 apart isn't just its accolades. It's a fundamentally different kind of video game. Players continue to discover new secrets and intricate details long after its release, showcasing its depth as a true masterpiece from Rockstar Games, surpassing even GTA 5. The aspect of RDR2 that resonates most with me, and always will, is its storyline. The narrative delivers an unmatched Wild West experience that's both immersive and expansive. I'm skeptical about the need for a sequel because it could potentially dilute the unique charm and authenticity of the original game. The level of detail in RDR2 is extraordinary, from NPCs who progress in their tasks day by day, to a world that feels alive and constantly evolving. There's nothing repetitive about it. Even the main story alone can take 40 to 60 hours to complete, not to mention the countless additional hours you can spend exploring. This game is not just a game. It's a portal to a bygone era, filled with heart-pounding gunfights, engaging robberies, and meaningful interactions that make it a truly magical Wild West dream.
I'm gonna be too good. You a damn man, you bastard.
Number 10. Elden Ring. For me, I really wanted to put the entire Dark Souls series here, but never mind. Elden Ring has the largest open world with many areas to discover or explore, thus consuming a lot of your time while grinding. I cannot lie that From Software Games only caters for hardcore gamers. Yes, like this isn't your simple Grand Theft Auto stuff. So, unless if you are an experienced gamer, don't even think about stepping into Elden Ring because you will just waste hours looking at death screen after death screen. Different endings and different areas, along with the baddest bosses in video games, are what makes Elden Ring shine the most bright in these aspects amongst others. The only reason why I don't like From Software Games is because their open worlds look dead except for Sekiro, which showcased every gaming feature beautifully well done. My all-time favorite game of theirs. Tell me about your favorite bosses of From Software Games in comments. Elden Ring blesses you with the option to leave a battle if you suck at it and keep dying, which is great. This means that even if you are an absolute noob who has all the time in the world, Elden Ring is still worth a try. However, I'd suggest playing other games first so you have an idea of what to expect. The multiple endings of this game are fantastic. Everything is taken up a notch from Dark Souls. Weapons, new areas, boss design, levels, hidden secrets, and difficulty. Number 9. Fallout 4. Perhaps the ideal gaming live action. I don't believe any game has ever achieved such a good live action. But then again, Fallout 4 is so much fun. It is always difficult to decide which game is the best of all and deserves to be at number 1. But for this list, my choice falls on Fallout 4. This game has everything you could want in an RPG. You can customize weapons, armor, and even your companion's attire too if you wish. You will keep peeling back layers upon layers of lore, and sometimes put yourself into tricky situations that can turn super deadly very quickly. You can also have a pet dog with you on your travels. The open world consists mostly of vast barren lands mixed with sci-fi, all filled with main and side quests alike. I know many players who have played for hours upon hours and still find themselves bumping into new things every now and then. The best thing about it is that in addition to this content, there's also a DLC you can buy. The Fallout series depicts life after the apocalypse with monsters and sci-fi things, as well as gangs and stealing. I'm talking about things you'd expect to see in any other post-apocalyptic setting. So, if you're interested in anything that I've shown or set up until now, then yes, trust me on this one and purchase the game. Number 8. Grand Theft Auto 5. GTA 5 is a game that often ignites strong opinions. I'm personally a big fan of the game, but I have mixed feelings about its fanbase. If you're a gamer, you might know what I mean. Those who proclaim it as the best game ever can be a bit overzealous, often overshadowing other great games and discussions. Don't get me wrong, GTA 5 is a fantastic game, but the constant focus on the Grand Theft Auto series every time games come up can be frustrating. This game speaks volumes by itself. For GTA 5, I recommend enjoying the gameplay more than the storytelling. Let me know in the comments if you're planning to grab GTA 6 on its release day. Perhaps GTA 5 is the one game on this list that truly suits all types of gamers. Rockstar Games has a history of crafting games that are relevant for years, and I'm eager to see what they bring to the table with the upcoming installment. Beyond its impact on gaming, GTA has also been instrumental in the rise of many YouTubers, serving as a steady source of content for them. Despite its vast map and the myriad vehicles that make traversing it quick, sometimes the world of GTA 5 can feel surprisingly small. Yet, there's a wealth of side content scattered across the map to discover. Number 7. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Surely everyone hates this game, and the only reason is being the repetition and size of the open world. It looks really good for a few hours, then dramatically falls off. The whole Viking thing was the only reason I even played it, which to be fair still should have been cool because who doesn't love badass Vikings? Everything in this game is time-consuming except for how great it looks visually with all its different landscapes. In reality though, I've always hated what they did with the entire franchise of Assassin's Creed games. There are people like me out there who prefer linear gameplay styles over anything else, so making every new game an open world just seems like such a waste when you could have put so much more into them instead. In spite of this, if Assassin's Creed Valhalla was a standalone game rather than an extension of the Assassin's Creed universe, it would have made for an amazing RPG. Rather than being a vigilant assassin, the game is more centered on direct combat. There are plenty of drawbacks to this game as well as upsides. It all comes down to one's perspective on AC Valhalla. In my case, I only enjoy the game because of its overall graphics and visually stunning landscapes that set up the entire Viking open-world theme. Number 6. Death Stranding. What a buzz this game was, and what a letdown. Death Stranding is a game that quickly went stale because of its undetailed areas and empty world, also not to mention the mixed reviews. In my opinion, this game is only suitable for some players. Honestly, it never even crossed my mind to play it. I'm just sure I'd get bored. A well-known creator made the game and promised an expanded experience for players. You can spend hours upon hours playing this game, with nothing but empty areas, or should I say empty space to explore. The story might deserve some appreciation, but still I don't have much strong feelings about this game. But if you are still going to give this game a try, check some gameplay videos on YouTube and see for yourself if you want to play Death Stranding. The community of this game is still talking about the sequel that they want very much. I just hope it improves upon the original. In the end, don't take my word for it, only play Death Stranding if you have played some other games like No Man's Sky. Number 5. Xenoblade Chronicles X.
July 2015.
Xenoblade Chronicles X is a fantastic RPG with a huge open world, a very fun combat, and hours of gameplay. This game was made by Nintendo. If you ask me, It should have been released on an earlier console. The main story is all about you, the last human, who must either repopulate or restart humanity. The music and art really fit the theme of destruction and starting from scratch. What's cool about this game is that as you help save humanity, you get to create your own stories and add characters along the way. You'll need to complete extra missions to finish the main story, so be ready to spend a lot of time on this game. Xenoblade Chronicles X also introduced an online multiplayer mode that fans really enjoy. There are lots of fancy combat moves. Sometimes, the game is just pure fast-paced action. So if you like that kind of thing, jump in and take on some huge enemies as humanity's last hope. Number 4, Starfield. You can imagine how big the map will be as the game is literally a space action combat game. Starfield is the latest visually enhanced RPG game filled with actions and set in space, which may not be to everyone's liking. I never really liked space exploration games either. So, all I could say about this game is that you can spend hours upon hours playing it, mostly because of exploring every little bit of space you can and finding all these crazy things there are. Because it was released recently, that means the graphics and mechanics are just perfect. Therefore, if you're a fan of action-packed RPGs in outer space, then Starfield is everything you could have ever asked for to waste your valuable free time on. This was made by Bethesda, which might be the only thing some players need to hear before buying this game. Still an average one, even after the new update though. Starfield really makes me sad for those who paid $50 for it. The internet has both positive and negative reviews. However, I suggest you watch some gameplay before deciding to buy it. It's rated 6 out of 10 on Steam. Personally, I like Bethesda games but not space action games. So, this one's up to you. Interactive environments, cities, or should I say galaxies full of people, weapon customizations, and an average storyline are what we're looking at. Number 3, Minecraft. Personally, I'm not a big fan of these types of games. They usually appeal more to kids, but I recognize why Minecraft deserves a spot on this list. I mean, the game is pretty ancient by today's standards. Still, we can't ignore the childhood memories and fun times it provided. The sheer size of the Minecraft map also deserves a shout-out, giving players the freedom to create their own virtual worlds. Microsoft Flight Simulator. I recently gave Microsoft Flight Simulator a try on Xbox Game Pass, and I have to say, it's pretty boring and time-consuming. I'm not really into simulator games anymore, though games like Farm Frenzy are an exception. However, I wouldn't recommend Microsoft Flight Simulator unless you're really into aviation. And if you are, what are you waiting for? Just go get it already. Microsoft Flight Simulator is incredibly detailed and realistic. It allows you to fly around the world in real time, which means a flight from New York to Los Angeles in the game takes the same 6 hours as it would in real life. You'll also see the same buildings and structures that exist in the actual locations. So, if you're looking to see the world but don't have much money, this could be the cheapest way to do it. Before I reveal my top pick, let's give a shout out to some honorable mentions.
Windblade!
Number 1. No Man's Sky.
Hostiles approaching. Warning. Sentinel drones activated. No free slot.
If you're still stuck on the initial reviews from when this game first came out, it's time to take a fresh look. No Man's Sky offers an infinite gaming experience. There's no end to it, allowing for countless hours of exploration. It's a procedurally generated survival game that has made incredible strides since its launch. Originally, it debuted as a vast but somewhat empty world, capturing players' interest only briefly. However, after numerous updates, bug fixes, and improvements over the years, it has evolved significantly. I have to warn you, No Man's Sky can really eat up your time. To truly enjoy what it has to offer, you'll need to invest several hours until it really starts to shine. You can play it alone, with others, or even in virtual reality. Though, I'd wager the multiplayer aspect might not be as active anymore. If you've already played everything else on this list, give No Man's Sky a couple of hours. As a survival game, it includes crafting, exploration, hidden treasures, and many other exciting features that will keep you engaged for a long time. Alright, this concludes the 15 biggest video game maps of all time. I do believe that most of you just wanted to satisfy your curiosity about the biggest maps and did not actually want to play these games, as they will eat up a lot of your time. However, all these games are still known for rich content and extreme playtime hours. Nevertheless, if you have made this far, hit that subscribe button, as I always make videos about your favorite video game topics. So, feel free to subscribe and drop your suggestions in the comments. The next video will be available on the channel tomorrow. So, until then, see ya and have a nice day.